Right, got a really interesting game here today. This is round two between Corson and Vorce. Vorce is more established within the wider, I don't know, Discord Polytopia community, whatever you want to call it. Vorce has been around like since forever. He's a team leader on Crawfish in season 4, I believe. Whereas Corson is a lot newer here. The biggest thing that Corson has done is the very good performance in the the Poly Champs Bullet Tournament. Corson is a junior player and a Drake. Vorce is a pro player on Crawfish at the moment. They're going to be playing. This is Aquarion week. Unfortunately, we can't bring you that high tier premium Aquarion quality content we know you're all craving, you're all desperate for. Vorce does not have Aquarion, so we're going to be bringing you some other rider action of Oumaji as soon as. Okay. Okay, they're ready. They're ready to start. Let's go. That's an unfortunate start for Corson. Just with the water and the mountains and the forest like blocking any useful rider movement. Vorce is going for the warrior plays, just like he did in game 1. He's checking score too to see what Corson does. And Corson's also going abandoning like any second unit, preferring to upgrade faster, I'm guessing. Yeah. Well, I guess not because doesn't want to buy hunting. It would have seemed like maybe bought a warrior or something. Looks like there's space for a village in the west there. Wouldn't have slowed down. It bought org and hunting first. It's a interesting play to wait on city capture for like a tier 1 tech, just because the 1-star per turn you get from the city is equivalent to the 1-star it costs. Like the increase in cost for a tier 1 tech. Vorce is going to trade resources over here. I mean, the explorers are good. That's all I really have to say about it. Of course, Corso's already got all the useful information he needs. He's going to go for the capital workshop. I mean, the hunting play is it's nice. Upgrades his capital. Probably a bad tech trade for Vorce, but I mean, looking at Vorce's capital resources, not like too terrible, I guess. Not as bad as it could be. And that's so weird, going from like a 0 explorer game to both players opting in for that. Now we see that Vorce is pulling ahead just by having that second unit early on in the game, like turn 0, turn 1. Weird with like host skip rules, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Vorce just has the third city that Corson is trying to take right now, whereas Vorce is trying to get this fourth city down in the south. The hunting is going to actually be useful for Vorce. He's going to be able to upgrade his capital now. So the lakes are really just uh, more so annoying than anything else here, right? With how it's been able to affect their like land-based movement. Of course, they're not really able to do much. They're practically on 2 islands with like these tiny points where they can go around the map. Uh, there are some like I think that city in the north, like it definitely favors Vorce in terms of its placement. Vorce for sure has easier access to it, but either player could have feasibly gotten it, I think. I don't know, I'd call this like they're practically on islands. Uh, Vorce on the 5 city island and Corson on the 4 city island. So just right off of spawn, uh, Vorce is favored. Yeah, Corson has every single tier 1 tech right now. Kind of interesting in like, forging out your macro plan to see like what you're going to do. You're going to see both players go for climbing. Of course, is going to try to stay away, not give the free hit to Vorce. In the single rider, going for those 2 mountains like that, it's not really going to achieve much, like pressure-wise on the capital. It's always going to get hit first. I mean, looks like Vorce just by fishing. Or are they both going to try to? Yeah, Vorce is going to try to get into the water because if you have a lot of water-based units, um, you're using those effectively. You've got these huge range advantage. You're not going to be taking any damage from your opponent because you just keep hitting them over and over again. Which is why even on a map like this where there isn't much water, taking control of the water is huge. That was a interesting like rider micro decision there because ordinarily for sure try to like back it off to South Mountain so it could retreat and run away. Whereas now Vorce has a really easy way to just kill it here. Yeah, Vorce is going to sacrifice his 2 health rider in order to get some vision there. Corson's capital and such. Going to hop into the water. And Corson bought fishing, but it seems like it was just for the upgrade, nothing else. Whereas Vorce bought it just as a way to get into the water. So, where the tiny decisions about the most effective way to upgrade and whatever interact with the larger scale decisions. Yeah, and the Corson's going to go for sailing now too, but uh, Vorce already has the definite advantage there. Vorce is trying to look at how many stars per turn Corson's making. It's kind of dangerous. Gotta have like, a kind of mental profile for that in a live game. Everything moves so quickly. Vorce is going to hop onto those ruins. It's on an ocean tile. So there's only one tile in the fog that, that is in a cardinal direction. Ocean tiles cannot spawn adjacent, like within an ordinal direction to land tiles. So without Corson being in the water, Vorce is safe. Which to that point, Corson didn't have anything in the water, and the ruins are going to go to Vorce if he chooses to take them. Yeah, I got shields. That's good for the defendership spam. So Vorce is just kind of overwhelming Corson in the water in the south, just by getting in there earlier, and also in the mountains, and also with the boat spam in the north. There's kind of no area where Corson has an advantage here. I mean, he might have an eco advantage if not for the fact that Force has more cities, or a single more city. That writer, I mean, there's not much else that Corson could have done with that. Going for that 5-star upgrade, I mean, it makes perfect sense. Gets 5 stars back from the upgrade and 1 more star per turn. Plus less likely to be pop capped if that was a concern at all. Going to see the ship upgrade. I mean, really with how fast this stuff is going, there aren't a lot of there's not a lot of setup for micro. You can't really like prove that your opponent's going to make a certain play, or like even if you are able to do that really quickly, um, you don't really have the best opportunity. Your opponent might not be able to think it through all the way. Might be punished for thinking too much, which is what the timer is supposed to do. That was interesting. Force totally could have just not taken that retaliation there. I mean, that's the time pressure. Oh, is Corson going to resign again? Yeah. And just like that, Vorce wins round 2 of 2.